Hello, hello, welcome back to Cafe Bagheri. Today we're going to make Persian Barbari Flatbread, which is one of my childhood favorites and very easy bread to make, very versatile. We're going to make the yeast mixture first. We're going to add some just yeast, bread yeast, active dry yeast, thank you, some active dry yeast. We put some sugar, I think it's a teaspoon of sugar here, and I have lukewarm water. It's a little over 100 degrees. We're gonna add it here. Okay, the yeast mixture is gonna have to take about 5 to 10 minutes. Once it starts bubbling, that means the yeast is alive and eating the sugar in there, and we are ready to add the flour, the dry ingredients. Our dry ingredients are simply 4 cups of bread flour, and I have some kosher salt here. I'm gonna add that here, and you're gonna have to mix it before you add it to the mixer. Just give it a stir here so that the salt and flour are a little bit distributed together. All right, see that yeast mixture? See that it's bubbling now? It's awake. Let me put this Barbari away. All right, so what we're gonna do is on low, medium low to low, we're gonna turn this on and start adding our dry ingredients now. There you go. Just 1 large spoon at a time. Once all the flour is in there, I'm gonna kick it up and go on higher speed. So now I'm gonna put it on medium. Like this machine has 10 different levels. This is on 4. You saw the dough is kind of slapping on the sides. That means it's ready. It's been about 5.5 minutes. So we're gonna take this out. I have some flour on the board, and we're gonna just traditional kneading of the dough. You're gonna do this about 3 to 4 minutes. This is now ready to rise. We're gonna get a bowl, like so, and spray some olive oil or vegetable oil, whichever you have. You slap this down. You can turn it over. I usually just spray the top as well a little bit and let it rest for about hour to hour and a half. Once it doubles in size, you know it's reached its rising limit. Like I said, Barbari is a big part of my childhood, my trips to Iran, going to the bakeries. Early in the morning, pick up bread and bring it home. I think I have pictures, actually, I have footage of the bakers making Barbari and bringing home the hot bread. Excuse the mess in the office here. All right, bear with me. So I have an external drive that I dump all of my files, all of my pictures on from my trips. Let me find some good pictures for you. Okay, so check this out. Early morning trip to the bakery, and you just go home with this hot bread. Look at the texture, and they're obviously giant. And then on the same trip, I took a video of the baker, believe it or not. This is when the portions are out and the slurry goes on it. See how he's spreading that slurry, and then the traditional, the old school way is to use your fingertips to make those lines, but they have a plastic tool that, let me play that again, look at that. See? And that's the baked bread there. See, that's the slurry that we'll show you how to make now in a few minutes. Look at that. Then this other guy, the chauffeur, who's the baker, the word for baker is chauffeur. Now, these are the modern ovens. This conveyor belt goes into the hot chamber, and it's a large circle. Comes back baked. I'm so fascinated by that process. And it's very efficient the way they do it. So we're gonna do it 4 different ways in 4 different ovens. Should be fun. Our dough is ready. It's been about an hour, 15 minutes, more than doubled in size. Let's get some flour on our board. We're going to punch it down, just go around like this, right? And then just get the dough out on the board right here. Fold it back over a few times. Then we're going to cut it in 4 pieces. That's the size of each of our barbaris. Now, if you want them double size, obviously you go twice. There you go. Now, for each of these, we're going to kind of bring the sides up and pinch them in the center. Go like this. I have a pan, a cookie sheet, standard size, with parchment paper on it. I'm going to put some flour on here so it won't stick. And then we're going to put our dough ball on here. Okay, so we're going to cover this with a saran wrap, plastic wrap, and we're going to let them rest and rise up again a little bit for about 30 minutes. While that's happening, we're going to start heating up our oven. There you go. I'm going to put this aside. So of course I'm going to give you the recipe for the dough below. The amount in the recipe makes 4 barbaris. If you want larger ones, you can cut it in half and make 2. There it is. So you're ready to go with this. But first I have to make my slurry. Slurry is when you make a paste or a solution with liquid and either cornstarch or flour. So this is our flour, baking soda, water, and 1 teaspoon of oil. Look at this. I swear this is 1 teaspoon right there. So we're going to cook this until it reduces and becomes a little pasty. You see it's thickened already. This will take about 3 to 4 minutes. When you are walking by or go in a Barbari bakery in Tehran early in the morning, you know that smell that comes off of the bread is from this. It's from this ROOMAL. See how it's thickening? This is what we're looking for. Okay, this is good. Let this cool down. So, like I said, I've made Barbari a couple of times. One time in the brick oven outside, one time here inside. Today, I'm gonna just try them all possible ways in this house that I can do. I'm gonna do it in the oven with traditional oven. I'm not even using the convection with the fan, right? It's a pizza stone that we use usually for pizza and flatbreads because it retains the heat and it gives it back to the bread. We're going to also try something a little more traditional, but with the inside oven. Check this out. I lined up a row of fire-resistant bricks. These are the bricks I used to build my brick oven outside in the backyard. I had some extra ones. So I'm going to stretch it over these bricks. They've been preheated to 450 degrees. So we're going to try this. We're going to try the pizza stone in the oven, and we're going to show you outside in the traditional brick oven, which is the traditional way Barbari was made, and then on a grill. See how that works. All right. Now in culinary school, they teach us something called nappe, which is the thickness of any soup or stock that you make. See how this coats the back of this spoon? This is the consistency you're looking for with this ROOMAL slurry. Okay, that's the nappe for it, right here. Okay, you don't want to burn yourself, so make sure the slurry, the ROOMAL as they call it, is cooled. Let me try my roller. I've not used a roller before, but traditionally they don't use rollers, just a hand, right? Okay, then what I would do is a tablespoon and a half of the ROOMAL on here, and then spread it like this, right? And then I will use, now they use, of late, they use little devices that look like a ruler with teeth on them to put some holes and ridges, but I'm gonna do it the way they did it traditionally in the bakeries. I'm gonna use my hands to create the ridges. I may have let the dough rise too long. It's a little tougher. We'll see how it turns out, okay? Of course, I don't have my sesame seeds and poppy seeds. I can use both. Some people, like in the bakeries, I've only seen sesame seeds on this bread, but I've seen recipes online that put poppy seeds as well. Just a little bit for the looks. I don't think it gives it any kind of flavor change. This is what I'm gonna do. I'll put it on my hand, but as I'm putting it down, I'm gonna stretch it. Look at this. Yeah, I let this right. It's a little hard to stretch it now. It's hardened. Look. That's what we're going for. Okay. Alexa, set a timer for 16 minutes. So we know the time to bake this bread on the pizza stone, on the clay disc, is somewhere between 16 to 17 minutes. But bricks, of course, are different because they retain more heat, and I'm sure it's hotter, so it's slightly lower. I'm gonna start at 16 minutes and then check the bread, and we'll see what it looks like, and we'll go from there. We're gonna try the second one on the pizza stone. Put some slurry on it, some ROOMAL. There you go. We're not going to put poppy seed on this one, or do we want to? Let's go apples and apples, right? Since we did the other one, so I'll put this side on one hand, and look at this. Now, as you put it down, you want to do a stretch. This is what they do in the bakeries when they, before it goes to the oven, they kind of stretch it right here. Again, based on experience, we go 16 to 17 minutes to see where we go, but the recipe calls for 15 to 18. So we're going at the lower range of that area. I'm gonna go make sure my brick oven and the grill are ready and at optimal heat. Then we're gonna take all of this outside and prep the bread right by the oven and grill. I don't have to carry the bread like this outside. So there you go, that's my slurry. This is my roller and my toppings. And let me get a little bit of flour to go. Okay, Alex, can you get that door for me? And I'll get out of here. When we do this in the brick oven, we need a pizza peel because it's kind of hot in there for you to reach in there and lay it down. It's a little stretch. One thing with pizza or Barbari or any kind of flatbread that you want to use a peel, wet dough sticks to this wooden peel. So you use some cornmeal scattered on your pizza peel like this, yellow cornmeal, so that it can slide. You will see it in a minute. Okay, our brick oven is not quite there yet. As I told you, without my temperature probe, I look up there, it's almost getting there. It's not quite hot enough, but our grill is, come look at this. I put it on low for all the burners. It's right at 450. And I have no idea if this is gonna cinch our dough as soon as we put it on there. I do know that I need some oil on there. Let me get some oil. If you don't have a cast iron pan, metal pan like that, you can use a cookie sheet, just a pan, flip it over on the back of it, and preheat it, put it on your grill, and then, so we're gonna spray some of this olive oil on there right before we put the dough on there, okay? So let's work on the dough now. I'm gonna put some flour down here. See, this is exactly what we want, right?
Does it matter that it's longer than the pan?
Huh? No. We just won't stretch it, right? Tablespoon and a half of our slurry. There you go. And we're gonna do from one side, go like this. If you have fingernails, try not to touch the bread with your fingernails because it's gonna tear into it. I do not have any fingernails, so I don't have to worry about that. There you go. That's my paper towel. See? Be prepared. Mise en place. I didn't do my mise en place. Mise en place is a French term that literally translates to everything in its place. Before you cook or bake or whatever, you gather all of the ingredients, all of the tools and utensils that you need. That way you won't have to go crazy running around like I am right now.
Here, you talk to the camera, and I will go get paper
Let's
towel.
see if we can set, let's see. Oh yeah, you can see me. There you go. The good thing about Barbari is you can buy it baked, or after you bake it, let's say you bake 5 or 10 of them, you can freeze, thaw, use it for pizzas, for flatbreads, quote unquote, which means slap some sauce, some meat and vegetables on it, throw it in the oven. When it comes out, tear up some herbs and serve it, and it's awesome. Okay, thank you. So this is ready now. We're gonna put the same toppings on here. Look at this. See? I put a little bit of oil on there. There you go. I'm gonna close it. So we're going to do a timer for, let's start at 15 minutes maybe.
Seems long.
Yeah. Let's do 10 minutes because guys, honestly, I have no idea what I'm dealing with. Start. What are you eating? I have to give you some Barbari. Okay. 10 minutes is off. Let's see what it looks like. 10 minutes, spin at 450, 430. Look at this. Oh. You know what? I think we're on the same scale at the oven because it doesn't look at this. Oh, it looks a little too done at the bottom. Let's give it 2 more minutes. There you go. See, this is what we were talking about. It's a little too done on the bottom, but it doesn't look bad. Let's let it cool down for a couple of minutes and we'll cut into it. The brick oven. Okay, come look at this. Come look at this. See, I don't know if you can see this, but it's starting to get white up there. I'm gonna push everything back. This is our procedure when we're doing pizza or flatbreads in this oven. I use this back metal edge to push everything back like this. So the floor of the oven right now is about 600 plus degrees, very hot. So right now, if I put down a pizza, it's going to get ready inside of a minute, right? But with the Barbari, I want to say we may be dealing with a few minutes. We're going to start with 3 minutes and go from there. I've done Barbari in this brick oven a long time ago, like 4 or 5 years ago, when I first built this thing, but I don't remember how it turned out. The slipperiness, see that? That's what we're looking for. There you go. In order to prevent this from burning, I'm gonna start turning it right away. See that side? We're gonna turn it again. Okay, here. See how fast it's baking? You want to cut into this other bread? Look. It's pretty good. Oh, I want to burn this. Yeah, it cooked a little more. Too much. Look, check this out. Look, it's a Barbari in brick oven, wood-fired brick oven. Yeah, we did a total of 4 minutes in there. That was probably a little too long. Probably 3 minutes would have been enough. Come over here. Okay, the bread itself, the dough itself is just a yeast bread, right? Doesn't have any kind of specific or particular smell that you would recognize. But this ROOMAL, the slurry that you put on the top, that's what the traditional Barbari bread that those of us who grew up as children, you know, like immediately, come smell this. That's,
oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And this one's, of course, the one on the bricks.
Oh.
See, I told you the brick is gonna make it, look at that.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah. What do you think about the ridges I put in there, Xander?
They look
yeah.
natural. They look
Yeah,
like
I don't use a tool. I just use my fingers like they did traditionally. Oh,
I can't do it.
remember there was a scene with the guy was shooting a band, piano player and the drummer. He kept doing
you're
this.
talking about from La La Land where he's like
Yeah,
pointing it
yeah.
up here?
So we're gonna, I think 16 minutes seems to be fine.
4 minutes. That's getting really dark on top.
I think it's gonna be fine. You know what? I'm gonna tell you the right place to have the shelf. My experience with pizza and other breads requires intense heat, so I selected the top. I think middle is where it should be, because right now this is the highest. You see that? It's looking good actually. That one's browning too. No, it's not too bad. We got like 2 more minutes. We'll get there. Hope it's not overbaked. This was 16 minutes. Look at the bottom. Yeah, I think this is done. Let's give it a couple of minutes, then I'm gonna cut the bread with my shears. It needs to bake a little longer. I expected, based on experience and whatever I've read, the bricks would retain and give off a lot more heat. Came off of pizza stone. All right. Yeah, much better. I would say 450 preheated pizza stone or brick, at least 18 minutes. I would say 18 to 20 minutes. So we baked Barbari 4 different ways. We cooked it on pizza stone and on brick, fire bricks in the conventional inside oven. We baked it inside of our closed grill on a metal pan, and this one was in the brick oven, wood-fired brick oven. All right, we had some fun making Barbari bread together. I hope you had as much fun as I did making all of this. So do try this recipe at home. It makes a great breakfast bread with cream, with butter, jam, and jelly. You can put some butter and garlic and Italian seasoning to make some breadsticks. That goes real well. My favorite way, and my wife's favorite way, is the way my mom serves it at breakfast, which is with feta and walnuts and maybe sometimes some sesame paste, some halva, and it's awesome, okay? Do make this Barbari and send me pictures on Instagram at Cafe Bagheri. Like this video if you haven't, and subscribe please, and hit that little bell button so we can keep in touch. I would like to see you here very soon. We have some exciting new videos coming your way. Thank you.